Have you felt restless lately? Not necessarily unhappy, not necessarily stuck, just restless. Like part of you wants more freedom, more honesty, more space, more meaning, more life. Maybe you've been questioning things, wondering if your current life still fits, feeling pulled toward change, thinking about what needs to end. Or maybe you're imagining what could be possible if you stopped settling for what no longer feels aligned. If that's been happening for you, you're not alone. And it may be exactly what this Sagittarius full moon is illuminating. Not because the moon causes these feelings, but because it can shine a light on what's already been moving beneath the surface. And here's what I think is important. This moon is not asking you to blow up your life. It's not demanding a dramatic decision right now. It's not telling you to quit your job, book a one-way ticket, to leave your relationship, or reinvent yourself overnight. Because not every urge for change is actually freedom. Sometimes it's exhaustion. Sometimes it's burnout. Sometimes it's avoidance. Sometimes it's a nervous system desperately searching for relief. And that's where this full moon gets really interesting. Every full moon carries tension. The sun is currently in Gemini. This full moon is in Sagittarius. Gemini gathers information, but Sagittarius seeks meaning. Gemini asks questions, but Sagittarius wants truth. And this full moon is asking, what truth expands me instead of exhausting me? Sagittarius is often connected to adventure, travel, expansion, possibility, the horizon, the next chapter, the big picture. So during this full moon, you may feel a strong pull toward change. You may crave movement, honesty, freedom, adventure, clarity, or an entirely different future than the life you're currently living. One moment you may feel inspired, the next overwhelmed. One moment you're dreaming about what's possible, and the next you're wondering if you're even ready for any of it. And honestly, that may be the deeper conversation this moon is trying to reveal. Because we can crave expansion and still fear it. We can want something new while another part of us is still feeling unsafe. So what if your body isn't ready yet? This is where nervous system awareness changes everything, because your nervous system cannot fully expand into a future it does not yet feel safe enough to inhabit. Sometimes what looks like procrastination is actually protection. Sometimes what looks like resistance, it's actually fear. Sometimes what looks like lack of motivation is a body still bracing for danger that has already passed. And sometimes what looks like laziness is exhaustion, the kind of good night's sleep can't heal. This full moon may reveal exactly where that disconnect lives. There is a shadow side to expansion. Sagittarius energy, when ungrounded, can become impulsive, reckless, avoidant, fanatical, future obsessed, addicted to what's next. It can chase freedom before creating safety. You may notice difficulty sitting still, frustration with routines, emotional irritability, the desire to escape responsibilities, future-focused anxiety, or the feeling that your current life no longer fits who you are becoming. Some of those feelings may contain truth, but not all of them require immediate action, because energy is information. It's not instruction. So how can we safely expand? That, to me, is the real gift of the full moon. Not reckless change, not dramatic reinvention of self, not running away from your life, but learning how to expand without abandoning yourself. Healthy expansion might look like taking one honest step instead of a massive leap. Trying something new without reinventing your entire identity. Allowing yourself to be seen without overexposing yourself. Resting without disappearing. Speaking truth without weaponizing it. Building freedom slowly instead of chasing it recklessly. Because safe expansion does not overwhelm the nervous system. It stretches it gently enough that the body begins learning that growth is no longer dangerous. So before you make any major decisions under this full moon, make sure you pause, take a breath, and then ask yourself, does this choice you're making create freedom or only temporary relief? Am I moving towards something meaningful, or am I trying to escape discomfort? What would expansion look like if I didn't have to abandon myself to achieve it? Can I move forward while still honoring my body's need for safety, rest, and regulation? Maybe that's the real invitation of this Sagittarius full moon, not to become someone entirely different overnight, not to chase a new life, not to run away from the old one, but to stop shrinking yourself to survive, to become honest enough to move toward a life that feels meaningful, aligned, emotionally stable, a life that is safe enough for your nervous system to finally stay present inside of it. Because the healthiest form of expansion isn't explosive, it's embodied. It's the kind of growth where your mind, body, and emotions and future slowly begin learning how to trust each other again. Until next time.